All right, and here we are testing the 1980 something Yamaha Moto-4 350. Whoa. Holy shit! This thing's dangerous as hell. It does quad stuff. We got a Yamaha Moto-4 or 4 Moto, something like that. It's definitely well used, but doesn't look too bad. However, she's got some problems. Front brake here isn't even connected, and the rear brakes do nothing. Looks like they're tightened all the way. So I'm gonna guess these are effed. All right, today is day 2 with the Moto-4. I have still hardly even taken a look at this thing, but there was a couple things I needed to address before I could get any further. And that was the first being the lack of brakes. And this is the culprit for the rear brakes. I don't know if they were extremely rough on it, caused it to separate and then break, or if these are just super cheap Amazon brakes. We've got oil filter, oil, and some new rear brakes going in. And then in the mail is my replacement little Y cable set up here for the front brakes. But for the first test drive, I don't need both brakes. I need any brakes. So we are going to put these guys on, replace those out, get that back in, all cleaned up, and drive it. I paid way too much for it because up here in the mountains, we live in a small rural community. People like quads up here, and there's not a lot of quads up here. And so because I was desperate for one, I paid a whopping $650 for this thing, which was definitely too much. It is a pile of crap. So I was starting to tear this gunk off. I didn't even know it had handlebars under there. Or grips, rather. I thought that that tape was on there because there was no grips. But anyway, here's one of our issues, is this whole lever. Somebody put in like a bolt. It's kind of a jerry-rig situation, but I need to adjust this linkage that shifts from low to high and into reverse as well. We have trouble getting into high gear. I put this little Mickey's tractor wheel on there, but I think what I'm going to do is totally take this guy apart. So you can see this right here, this little guy comes off, and that there's a little spring mechanism that bolt is set up with. I think I'm going to either replace that bolt altogether, or in the very least, I'm going to weld on another little bolt here that I've got a matching nut for, so I can actually put a more regular handle on there that isn't an old toy tractor wheel. She's got a lot of miles. 5,062, and I think that does work. When I first bought it, none of the brakes worked. Absolutely none. We've got a little bit of rear breakage now. Well, not a little bit. They work good now. The rear brakes work and are mostly adjusted. Well, you didn't need to do that. We've got a whole bunch of janky, dangly relays and stuff that need to be zipped up. This battery situation is gnarly. The guy told me it needs new battery cables, and when he showed up, oh yeah, that $650 included delivering it 2 hours. That's a big part of the reason I bought it. You know, it was a pile when it got here, but I felt bad. I figure I can sell it for at least what I'm in it. Either way, I don't know if you could tell, but this is just solid copper wire, and they just had it jammed up underneath there. No wonder it didn't work. Today, I hope to be taking these rear plastic and rack off so that I can, let's see here, so that I can adjust that guy. See that little rubber boot connected to that lever there? Well, that is the range selector and the reverse selector on the side of the transmission there. Right here, that is where I'm going to be doing the adjusting from. Hopefully I can get it into adjustment and working every time. This is the decompression switch on these guys for the pull start, but electric start does work even with that crappy battery. Let's give it a try. Hey, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Airbox is held down with wood screws, of course, and it does not have the correct filter in there, but it's kind of working anyway. Also, as you can see, the boot that goes from the airbox into the carburetor is not attached. I love this. I love that I've got actual physical badges on this thing, not just stickers. So that's kind of cool. See how stickers do in the Arizona sun. Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad, honestly. If you look at these tires are in pretty dang good shape. It's got decent tires on there. Might need to turn the idle up a little bit. Actually, the whole carb needs to be cleaned out, but that's not going to be happening today. No, that won't be happening today. That's going to be another day affair because at the moment it does start. And what I'd like to do today is just test out high range and see how fast we can get her. We'll see, and then at some point, either we're going to be stripping this paint off or repainting it. Either way, if I paint it, it's going to be something obnoxious, you know, like a metallic orange or some crap like that. But we'll see. Also wanted to say, this is what the oil filter looked like coming out of it. So, and there was some metal shavings in the bottom of the filter compartment there, whatever, the housing. So, bad, but not super bad. Not too bad. Anyway, so I've gone and boogered up some stuff to this. I ended up just totally replacing this rod. I couldn't have possibly removed the old one without cutting it like I had to, the way it was set up. This way, I should be able to remove this piece entirely, should I decide to. I've got a bunch of these laying around. I was thinking, I wonder if I could, maybe not. Maybe not. I think that would get in the way. I was trying to think something cool or funky or stupid to put on there. Well, anyway, gonna have to find something other than the phone. I thought that'd be cool. All right, we've got a handle installed for our gear selector. I had an old wooden carved eaten apple core, and I thought that would work. So, I don't know. Maybe this thing will be called Bad Apple or Rotten Apple or something. I don't know. The most interesting thing that I could find for now. So, but now it's going to be real easy to swap that out if I want to. I do believe I have successfully adjusted this cable here. I just extended it a little bit. There we go. All nice and tight. Should have had another wrench on the other side, so I'm not putting stress on that aluminum mounting area there, but either way, it appears to be functioning too. Oh, what's that? What is that? That little fuel leakage? I believe our carburetor is leaking into the airbox. Or is that just our overflow? That could be. Yeah, that's what it is. You gonna see that back in there? Probably not. Yep, you see that dripping? Yeah, because I feel like as soon as I go to turn it on, this thing will start leaking. Like, you know, use it again. Because it's real stiff. Either that or I'm going to snap this tab off, which I've done before and I don't want to do again. Oh well, we got our apple core handle and we got it going into high gear now. Low is the iffy one now, but that's okay. Who needs it? Low is just the gear between high and reverse. Alrighty, we got the rear plastic and the rear rack off. Now I should have great access for getting these loose doodads. Oh, and look at that. They've got little spots they can go to. This one goes right in there. This one will snug up in here. A little more difficult with one hand. All right, and then I'm gonna stick a couple zip. Oh, and a spot for this one. Perfect. Cool. I'm gonna throw some zip ties on these just to make sure they don't pop back out of these little holders. Now, what do we got over here? We've got this guy. Look at this situation. Yeah, what do we do here? I don't know where this one went. I do not know where this one went. This might be a situation where I just zip tie it so things aren't so dangly and bouncy and get damaged or wear a hole in something. I think that's the plan. Just secure everything and then plastic and everything can go back on. Well, we go from one idiot's work to another idiot's work, but it is slightly better. But I noticed yet another problem from the previous job or person working on it. See how that's starting to wear right there? Look how it's just routed between these two pieces of metal that it's absolutely was and is going to continue rubbing on, and that's our positive wire. I don't think that should be so thin either. Well, we got a problem. So unfortunately, I do not have any more ring terminals that are big enough to accommodate, like another one of these, to accommodate a nice thick healthy wire like we should have, not this little tiny, way too small a gauge wire for our positive. So this whole area is just going to be a do it later. I'm going to zip tie the crap out of this battery. I'm going to put a rinky-dink terminal on this rinky-dink wire, and we're going to run it like that. It's been working sort of so far. So we're going to run it like that until I get cable and terminal and the desire to fix the battery box here. Now that we've got about enough zip ties to put the Titanic back together, that one I'll leave. We're all set. Yeah, these are crappy pliers I grabbed. Dull dikes. Hopefully this battery don't go nowhere for one or two trips. But it's not even the right battery anyway. Not only that, as you can tell, it has definitely taken a tumble or four. And they're a little brittle. These zip ties are a bit old. Probably shouldn't have used them. Wearing the helmet so I can use the GoPro. Wrong side. Turn our fuel on, hopefully. Oh, it's still super stiff. WD did nothing. Alright, got that going. This looks like we might be leaking in the oil filter. Possibly. Probably should have gotten new seals. Oh. You know what? Forgot something. We're just doing a test drive. Looking for... That's a big dent. Now what is that for? Maybe that carb clean is going to be needed sooner than I thought. Alright, we'll give her like half choke. Started fast. It just doesn't want to take throttle. Alright, now let's neutral. We're not bucking it low either. That's great. All right, now reverse. Neutral light's working. Reverse light's working. And reverse is working. Alright. Back into low. Died. Hey, starter works without it in neutral. That's kind of handy. Here we go. Just chill till I get mine started, I guess. Not a fan of the kickstart. How's it doing?
Ooh, it's doing pretty good. It's an arm workout.
Let me hop on, drive it for a second.
Go for it. I think it drives very good. The front wheels, and I don't know if this is all quads, but it really wants to kind of just follow any sort of rut or thing in the fucking ground.
All right, good to know. This thing is dangerous as hell. Oh, holy shit! This thing's dangerous as hell. This front end,
like I said,
is toasty.
Dude, if I keep it at the speed I was, I'm good, but...
The camera does not accurately depict how scary the front end of this quad is and how quick it is to shoot itself in a different direction than it was going, which really feels like it wants to throw you off. And it is happening at all times if you're going more than 5 miles an hour.
Oh my god, this thing is sketchy as hell. All right, and here we are testing the 1980 something Yamaha Moto-4 350. And I gotta say, boy, is she a pile. if you go to make like a slightly too sharp a turn, it wants to dig in and hook into that turn and just do crazy oversteer. Anyway, the Suzuki, as always, other than cold starting, is a dream. It's a peach. It's perfect. I love it. Woohoo! We're out here testing it out, and let's see how it does. I've only been on it just a little bit. I spent, what, 3 minutes on it? Let's go ahead and spend 3 more. Like a dream. That was she's some carb work, for sure. Let's see if this girl wants to start. No problem. Maybe it's towed in, look at it. It might be towed in too much. I totally shifted without the clutch, I'm an idiot. It does quad stuff. Oh yeah, there's the thing.
The campers.
Hopefully those vagrants. Campers. Hopefully those good, normal American citizens didn't steal the van. It's pretty good.
360-degree view.
Just about, except for the sun.
I don't know what fire star we're in, but
And something.
we're in one of them.
See all the burned trees all over the damn place.
All the brand new trees.
Yeah, there's a bunch of... Unfortunately, I did run one of them over.
It's fine.
It was probably the one I already ran over, so don't feel bad. Yeah, look at this. This used to be a lot more of a forest. Look at all... Holy cow.
Yeah, that's a big burn scar.
My goodness. Just hundreds and hundreds of dead trees. Moto-4 is oof, oof, oof. That's no good.
What?
That battery is ready to come out. All right, bush repair time.
This is a camp spot.
Yes, it is. It's a freaking lovely camp spot. So unfortunately, get this damn key off. Unfortunately, the zip ties I used were real brittle. And looks like they all snapped. I almost sorta planned ahead. Almost sorta.
Almost.
In here, I don't know if it's enough though. In here is a piece of wire. My favorite tool. Hopefully. Oh yeah, that's a good twist. Hey. Dunno. Well,
Moment of truth.
I think let's head on back. Golden. Beautiful mountain. This thing's a blast. Well, let's mosey on home, I think. Well, you didn't need to do that.
Well, it doesn't.
It's not working anymore?
About halfway down this section, as soon as we started turning that big hill, it started to fade.
Huh.
Yeah. So I don't know if it needs an adjustment or what, but I ran out of brakes.
Interesting. Well, that thing's full of problems.
Speaking of which,
Yeah, you have to use the switch.
yeah. Okay, so that brake works good. The handle doesn't. That's interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
Foot brake good. Handle bad.
Will you check back there, see if it's moving?
Where's the brake? Oh, I see. Yeah, it moves.
Huh.
I don't press that one and then press the 4-1 afterwards. 4-1 presses a whole lot more.
Well, and this just needs to be adjusted better. Cool.
That was fun. Whoa.
Frankly, it's got problems with everything. It's got a problem stopping. It's got a problem driving.
It worked.
It's got a problem starting.
Like Cody, it worked just well enough that it was interesting.
That works. How about that?
Momentum, my man. Momentum. Alright. Your circus now.
Yep. And then I'll turn my ass around as soon as I pass the camera again.
Uh-huh.
Park it, you can hop on and we'll